I am pretty fired up this week. I am hoping that I don't swear on this video, but please apologies in advance if I do drop some cuss words here. I am pretty fired up about this email that has gone out from the legal department at the North Carolina Association of Realtors. You may have received it. It basically gave guidance on how to amend buyer agency agreements, and I am not thrilled about it at all. If you are new to the channel here, my name is Chris Cox and I am the education director for a small little real estate school called Level Up Learning. And this is just one of the videos that I put out there. I like to educate the real estate audience out there just about what's going on in the real estate world and how it affects you. So as you may have seen, on March 6th, the North Carolina Association of Realtors issued this email, or issued this post that went out to a lot of people in an email, and basically goes over all of the ways that you can amend a buyer agency agreement. And I just do not love at all. I think it's absurd that the associations are telling us how we can amend our agreements. They're telling us that we cannot amend our agreements up if the seller is offering higher compensation that is in our agency agreements. And I get that they're trying to cover their assets for sure. They need to make sure that they are in compliance, or at least appear in compliance with everything that is going on with the settlement. But this just feels really absurd and unfair, and they're not out protecting the best interest of the real estate brokers with this. So that all being said, and how I feel about that, let's talk about what you can and can't do with it. So again, as you saw here, or may have seen in here, basically says that, you cannot amend the agency agreement to receive anything that is higher than that original amount, except with a couple of exceptions on that. And the one that they include in this as an example is that, hey, if your intent was to originally show them one house and you end up showing them 100 houses, that is a potential valid reason to increase the amount, to amend your agency agreement to increase the amount on that. So how are they going to ever define that? I am not quite sure how they would enforce that. Again, I really just feel like this is just a legal cover your assets kind of email and post that went out to everybody. How are you going to prove that you only intended to show them one house and now you're showing them 100 houses? I don't know who's getting injured in this as well. So from a real estate commission perspective, the consumer is not being injured at all if the seller is offering higher compensation in that. So I just don't get where this is coming from. And so again, so that's one thing you can do. You could say, hey, we intended to show them one property, but we instead showed them another way. 100 properties. Another way to potentially amend that agreement and then be in compliance with MLS and NCAR guidelines around buyer agency compensation would be to potentially offer some form of rebate to your clients. And this is actually one that I have in my buyer agency agreement anyway. Even before this, I, at my consultation, am talking to my buyers and saying, hey, this is the fee that I charge. This is the value that I have put on my services. And if it's anything over that, then we, I agree to split that difference with you, if there's any bonuses or if it's higher than that. And that just, comes across to me as a win-win type scenario. They're getting a little more, I'm getting more than I anticipated for my services on that. So I think that creates a great win-win. Like I said, I was doing that, even before the settlement itself. I wanted to offer that to my clients, but that is an option that is out there. Again, that is not going to work for every business model, but if it's a choice that I've made and I feel I have the right to make with my business model too. So so that's one way to amend that, and by these guidelines here seemed like it would be okay. And of course, with all of these workarounds or other ways to get this done, please consult your broker in charge of your firm and make sure that they are okay with what you're doing on your buyer agency agreement. And then another one, this is one that I have heard in other meetings of brokers that I've gone to, which if you're not doing, please get out there and find some groups. There's a lot of collaboration going out there all around the state here. There's a lot of great groups that are meeting up and having just conversations about these things that affect our industry. But one that I'd heard at one of those meetups that I went to was they have made the business decision, again, business decision that is their right to do, that they sign touring agreements with them. So they only stay under a touring agreement with their clients until they've identified the property that they're going to offer on, and then they're going to put an offer together based on the compensation that they know that that property is going to be offering. So that seems like a workaround that may have a little bit of live in the gray area quite a bit, because definitely the intent around the settlement and the language around that was it's not to match the seller's offer of compensation, that they don't want you to do that. But that would be something, again, you're not under a agency agreement or a full agency agreement. You're just under a touring agreement with them. They're not under an exclusive right to work with you. But that does seem like a way that, again, check with your broker in charge of your firm and see if that is a way, any business practice that you want to do. Because again, now that buyer is not obligated to you, to use you, and you run the risk of losing that buyer who isn't under a full exclusive buyer agency agreement with you. So those are just a few ways. Again, I just think this is a total malarkey statement from the North Carolina Association of Realtors, probably at the guidance of the National Association of Realtors, that I don't feel is looking out for us as realtors at all, other than to maybe potentially avoid future lawsuits, which would affect us all, but it really would affect the associations the most, because we're not doing anything that would be an illegal business practice, in my opinion. Again, this is just my opinion, not a legal opinion. Consult with your broker in charge, your firm, and your legal team on what is going to be the best workaround for you. But just my opinion. I would love to see your opinion in the comments as well, and what other things that you may be doing. And if you're interested in meeting up and just kind of grabbing coffee or just chatting about any of the stuff that's going on in the industry, I would love that opportunity. If you want to subscribe to our channel here, you have the opportunity to get these type of videos on a regular basis, as well as the other content that I'm putting out there. Every Thursday, I also lead a tech half-hour Zoom that is open to everybody. Sometimes we get specific to the firm that I am with. Most of the time it is just kind of general technology that is out there. And again, you can find links to that on the Level Up Learning website, which you're able to find in the description of this video here. So hope this helps somebody out there. Again, this is just my opinion, not a legal opinion. I did not practice law, just my feeling on what these type things are bringing down, and who they are actually benefiting. And I don't feel like it's the consumer at all. So thanks for watching. Hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.